Hello there, this is Alana from the DNA Red Angus team, and today we're going to go over the Red Navigator testing, aka testing commercial females with our AAA. So first off, I like to start every presentation with meeting your Red Navigator team. The first one up is Katie Oshner. She's our commercial marketing coordinator. She does all the follow-ups with our Red Navigator people. She'll go over any questions you have or how to kind of use that information. Hala, she's the manager of memberships and the DNA programs. You have Fallon Flick, who is the DNA programs coordinator, and she handles all of the results. And then myself, Alana, I am a DNA/customer service specialist, and I handle the submissions here at our AAA. I like to put this in every PowerPoint presentation. Maybe you're a commercial producer and you don't know, but you can get blood cards from us for free. All you have to do is call or email the DNA department to request as many as needed. Just verify your address or give us your account number with us, and then let us know how many of those you need. We also do offer a service to send Allflex TSUs, so the tissue sampling units, to you. You can call or email the DNA department. We will bill your account, so keep an eye out for that on your statement. And the TSUs/applicators are shipped directly to your ranch from the Allflex facility. Now, as a note, you don't have to order them through us. If you have someone you like doing business with, go for it. Another thing I want to cover is why we don't accept hair samples for our Red Navigator testing. That is because of their high failure rate and the additional $5 processing fee with them. So we only accept blood or TSUs for Red Navigator. So this slide, I'm kind of going to go word for word. Basically, what is Red Navigator? The test gives you the power to make informed mating and culling decisions to progress your herd forward. It also gives you a comparison of your females against the base population of nearly 12,000 commercial Red Angus animals. Testing females, because this test was created for commercial females, receive information for the majority of traits in the Red Angus EPD suite. The scores are reported in the form of an individual percentile rank 1 through 100. Sire verification of the females is available and included in the cost, but it is not required. You can also submit the sires simultaneously. So if you have some commercial females you want to test and then you also want to test the sires as well, you are welcome to do so. The current cost of our Red Navigator per sample is $22. Next is the conditions for Red Navigator. Animals must be at least 75% Red Angus. This test was specifically designed for Red Angus, and so that's why that requirement is there. Females only, sired by registered Red Angus bulls, blood or tissue samples. Animals tested will not be registered. This is kind of a biggie. If you ever think that you're going to register that animal, you might want to consider doing maybe a parentage test or later down the line doing a GGP testing. Now those have certain requirements you have to meet as well. So if you have any questions about those, we have the YouTube video on submitting your samples to us, or you can give us a call and we can go over that. But basically, if you have a, let's say, for example, you have a commercial heifer and later on you decide you want to register her and you already did all the Red Navigator testing on her, those results cannot be transferred over to her registered pedigree. Again, her results cannot be transferred over to her registered pedigree. So that's why I say if you have an inkling that maybe you will register that animal later on, I would highly urge you to call us and talk it over with us or talk it over with someone, and then maybe go for like a parentage test, which we don't require a registration number for, and kind of go more that route. Next is completing the order form. This is required information and required stuff that we need just for the DNA department in general. If you're submitting more than 35 animals, you must fill out an electronic Excel order form and email it to dna@redangus.org. You can find that through our website, and we can go over that later. You need to include the ID of the animal. If it's more than 6 characters, please abbreviate or shorten. For us here, you need to include the barcode of the sample, which you can flip over the card and take a look, and you'll see that there. The TSUs, it's on the side of the bottle. Make sure you sign the form. We cannot submit any DNA unless we have a signature for it. And you can either include a check with your order, or you can pay with a card. Just write and call for CC so I know to give you a call when I receive the DNA. Next is additional information. It's helpful, but it's not required. Include the birthday if known. It will not be on the end report that you see. It's just helpful for us here. Include sire options. And then if you're unsure about your account number, you can look it up through Reds Pro or give us a call. Also including all your information such as your name, address, city, all of that good stuff. We can take a look and look it up through Reds Pro here when we receive it. All of that stuff helps us. So we're going to go over the basics of sending TSUs to our AAA. Pretty much this is no matter what testing you do with us. This is just for TSUs in general. So the first one on the left-hand side, you can see the red stoppers all the way through the TSU. So that's the biggest thing. There's also no liquid in there and you can't even see a sample really. Other issues that we do see are tattoo ink, dirt and debris, excessive blood, foreign objects, small samples, hair coming off out of the top of the TSU, and cracked TSUs. So what I tell people is, hey, once you punch that TSU chute side, take a look at it real quick, see if everything looks good. If it doesn't, grab a new one, punch another sample. That way you don't have to run the animal through the chute again. So you want your TSUs to look like what's over here on the right-hand side. The red stopper is in place. There's fluid in the TSU. There's clear vision of the tissue sample in there. And the green ball is at the bottom. Next up is the do's and don'ts for blood samples. On the left-hand side, we'll go over the do's first. You want to fill in the circle as best as you can. You want to let the sample dry completely before submitting it to us. Take the sample from a relatively clean and dry area. The sample is clean and you can kind of see that, that kind of like white felt-ish looking area. It doesn't have medicine or fecal matter or any other foreign liquid on there. So that's what I mean by it. The sample is clean. And then do not submit blood on a twin. If you do, it will fail. If you're going to submit anything on the twin, please use ATSU for any Red Navigator testing. The don'ts over here on the right, they're kind of explanatory, but the top one, there's too little blood and the card is dirty. The next one down, blood is not in the circle and not clean. The lab will only test what's in the circle, so that's why it's important to fill that circle as best as you can. And then the last one, it's very watery, washed out looking. You may or may not get results. If it was up to me and that was my sample, I would rather send one that looked more like on the left-hand side, you know, try to giving myself like the best chance of it succeeding at the lab. Now, if your sample does fail at the lab, you are responsible for collecting a new one and submitting payment for it. Next is the blood card submission process. So you want to put the cards in the order of the order form. The cards need to be in order. So a good way to do that is rubber band cards more than 5. So if you're submitting, for example, maybe like 100 animals, you can do them in groups of 10. Excuse me, they just need to be in order of the order form. And I usually tell people to rubber band them. If you put loose cards in a Ziploc baggie, those cards always get out of order, so I suggest rubber banding them. You want to identify the card with the animal ID. You want to, again, put blood on the blood card that fills the circle as best as you can. Also, the next really big one is do not submit blood on hair cards. The lab cannot test them. There is no way physically for the lab to test something like that. So if you need blood cards, please call us. Like I said, I will send you plenty. You can have some for later too. They keep for a while, so make sure you have plenty on hand before you're going to start running animals through the chute to get some blood. If you do have any questions though with your blood card, whether or not you think it's good enough to submit, or you're unclear where the barcode is, or maybe you have a different type of blood card, let us know. We can all go through that with you. So the next up is kind of reiterating how to submit it. So the cards, they need to be in order of the order form. Next big thing is TSUs. They need to be in numerical order, as shown over here in the little picture on the side. Note that this is not a Red Navigator form, but the premise still applies. They need to be in numerical order. So you can see at the top, 773 is the first one. It's the first one on the order form. Then it goes 774, 775, 776. So also another thing is to write the IDs in the box with the TSUs. That way I know that it matches what you're submitting and we're submitting the right animal. And then also if you are not going to submit a sample, maybe for example 778 ends up not being a good sample, you took a different TSU from it, you can remove the TSU and then X out that box. So that way I know that you're not submitting that sample. It didn't get lost. It's, didn't fall out in the mail or something crazy like that. That just kind of reassures me that you're not submitting it. Also, the picture all the way to the right-hand side. That's the best way for scanning for myself personally. And if you're using a scanner at home, you as well, that's a QR code there. And it just speeds up the process pretty quickly. So I like to have that if I can. If I can't, I understand. But also, like I said, if you're scanning at home, that's a really good way to get that. So last but not least, the biggest part of it is reading your results. The data will be sent to you in an Excel file. You can kind of see that below. An email will be sent with general information about the results and what they mean. So a little snippet of that email is this. The results you received are the percentile ranks of your animals compared to the commercial population of red Angus animals. A lower number represents a better percentile ranking. For example, a ranking of 1 would mean that the animal is in the top 1% of the trait compared to the commercial population of red Angus animals. So basically, a lower number is better. Like I said earlier, Katie Oshner will follow up with you. So if you have questions, concerns, all that good stuff, you can call her. You can also contact Fallon as well. Here are both of their contacts. So the general DNA contact line is extension 8. Fallon is at extension 7. I am at extension 14. We also put Katie Oshner's email here just in case she's in bad cell service or maybe at a bull cell. You can also email her as well. And she's at extension 16. If you have any issues or anything like that, feel free to give us a call. Also, if you need to find the Red Navigator forms, you can go to our website, go to genetics/DNA forms. Our Excel sheet will be there and also our PDF sheet. If you have any questions, like I said, go ahead, give us a call. If there's a formatting issue, we want to try to make it as easy for you as we possibly can. I hope this was informative. If you have topics you want us to get covered, go ahead and email or call us and we would be happy to oblige. Hope you have a great day.